All right, I want to do this drive rush guide for you guys because a lot of people have been asking questions for this, and I want to help you guys out on people are having problems doing combos with drive rush, and I want to give some general tips, a lot of execution tips, explain the properties, make sure everyone understands, especially the people that missed out on the beta version of this game. There's a lot to talk about, but I'll try to go through it quickly. But to start off, let's just go over the absolute basics. I know most of you guys know this stuff, but there are some people out there that are not doing the correct inputs for like drive rush cancels, for example. So to do a drive rush cancel, you only have to press forward. There are some people still like holding down parry and then pressing forward. You don't need to do that. So it's easy peasy lemon squeezy. Just forward is all you need to press. And by the way, if you don't know which button goes into drive rush, it's just any button that's special cancelable. So since Marisa can go this into Gladius, then you know crouching medium punch can go into it. Actually, there's another trick you can do. You just go into the training mode and turn on cancel timing display and turn this on. When your character turns red, it's when you can special cancel. So see crouching light punch, I can do it, but I can't do it for medium punch because it's not special cancelable. So it shows you which buttons you can use. So all these buttons I can, but this one I can, you know. Let me see if it shows it for Ken too. Yeah, see for Ken, light kick. But you know Ken standing medium kick you can't, so he doesn't flash red. So that's just a really quick way, like, you know, in training mode to know what you can special cancel and what you can drive rush cancel. But if you want to do a normal drive rush from neutral, you do have to hold down parry. So you hold down parry and you press forward as fast as you can. You don't even have to wait for the blue flash. I just simply hold down parry and then go forward. As long as you hold down parry first and then you dash, that's all you need to do. Now, in terms of using a macro, I do suggest to use a macro. What I mean is assigning the parry. You can set the parry to 2 mediums, but the problem is on the PS4 controller, the default is the back trigger, the left one right here. And I want drive impact is the priority, so I have it on my shoulder. So using the trigger to parry is pretty bad if you're using, like, you know, a normal pad, for example, because if you're trying to perfect parry, your timing needs to be dead on. And since you have to press down this button more than the other buttons, your timing is going to be off a little bit. So using this for drive rushes in general, I don't recommend. But if you're using like a joystick or, you know, all button controller or using keyboard or something, then I think it's completely fine to macro the parry button. Because there are going to be circumstances where you're going to accidentally press medium punch before medium kick, or vice versa. So you'll accidentally like throw out a medium punch instead of doing a parry, or you might drop your combo. You know, it's happened to me a couple of times because I like to manually parry. So just keep that in mind. A macro will help if you have enough buttons to do it. Does anyone in the chat use a macro button for their drive rushes? Yeah, I think it's a good idea. Like if I was only doing drive rush, using the macro button would be okay. But since I got a perfect parry with it too, I don't know. Okay, so actual like execution trick for doing drive rush as fast as possible, which you guys should know by now, it's forward and mediums at the same time. So it's 2 steps. It's 1, 2, like that. And just go fast. Faster, I'm gonna do a dash. And the benefit of doing it this way is that, see the drive meter at the top of the screen? If I manually go parry and I do dash as fast as I can, you see how it drains off more than 1 bar? Like it's 1 bar plus a little bit. So you can see that I'm losing a little bit more than I'm supposed to because I'm holding the parry for too long. Even if I input as fast as I can, you know, sometimes I can do it 1 bar, but you need insane speed. So if you do it this method, forward, then forward mediums, it'll always be 1 bar, right? Which is good. But to be honest with you guys, I never ever use this method in an actual match. I always just manually parry and go forward because to do this method like mid-match, especially when you're walking back and forth, it's not always the best because you got to remember, if you're holding down a direction, you have to go back in neutral. So if I'm holding forward, I have to let go and then I have to go forward mediums like that. And I'd say the majority of players, like pro players and mastering players, don't use this method either. But it is important to know. It is technically optimal, you know? I guess it just depends on what controller you use, but it's important to keep that in mind. Like I said, I think it's good to like try doing it every now and then. Because once again, it is meter efficient. But it's just hard to do it in a clutch and do it every single time. Like you're gonna screw up. at some point, you know? You're gonna want your execution good. But I think it's something to strive for, you know, eventually in the future. Oh, I forgot to write this note down. Oh my god, okay. In case someone tries to troll me and says, hey, Vesper, the forward media input, that's called the max rush. Okay, let's get to the bottom of this for a second, just in case that happens, because Giuna gave that tip too. Yeah, or it's called the dude rush. That's what they call it. The dude rush actually sounds really sick. All right, but hold on. Okay, hold on. I talked to you guys about this before. This is a perfect opportunity. I know I'm completely derailing the guide. I'm sorry, but hold on. I gotta go to Giuna's video first. So in case you guys don't know what I'm talking about. The dude rush actually sounds pretty cool. I might start calling it the dude rush. Check out this comment. So Giuna, he explains what I did explain to you guys with the input. And then at the bottom here, did he pin the comment? Here, yeah, he did pin it. He actually pinned it. That's so funny. So someone left a comment in his video and said, the perfect drive rush technique is literally Maximilian's tech. Yes, there are receipts. He made a video about it. Dudes call it the max rush. Give credit where credit is due and don't claim it as your own, and give the person who found it some respect. And Giuna's like, oh my god. He was in total shock, okay? I heard about this. Keep the receipts. Okay, all right. Since we're on the topic of receipts, let's get to the bottom of this, okay? Let me find... Okay, this was posted 13. I'm gonna find out exactly when Max taught this. Oh, you know what? Max actually didn't make a video on it. He said it during stream, and someone made a video of his clip. Yeah.
Instead of doing hold down mediums forward, you do forward, and then forward plus medium.
Can I see the chat? Time. Max said this 2 months ago, and it was during the second beta, he said, okay? All right, here comes the revelation. Remember, this guy, this is nothing against Max, by the way. Max is awesome. I'm glad that Max is teaching people stuff, because he's gonna have the biggest audience of people who knows. Everyone should know this, right? I'm going after this guy, the guy who said there are receipts, okay? Just to make it crystal clear, guys, okay? This is what I derailed for this entire guide for. Vesper Arcade, Drive Rush. Oh damn it, you guys can't even see me. Hold on, I gotta turn up my camera.
So the drive rush, there's two ways. One is you dash out of a parry. So you hold parry and press forward, and you'll do your...
Here, look on the screen. You can also input forward plus mediums, or forward, medium, forward, okay? Look, it's right here in writing. Here's the receipt. Here is the receipt. Now, here it comes, guys. Get ready to apologize. Full caps. Are you guys ready for the revelation? Guess when I made this video. Was it during the second beta? Was it 2 months ago? Here it comes. 7 months ago. I made this video 7 months ago. It was the first beta, day one. I made this video. Apologize. There's the receipts. All right. And this ain't no small video. This video's got like what, 76,000 views? It's not max views, but it's got the views. Okay. So now on, I officially am renaming the Dude Rush to the Vesper Rush now. Or V-Rush for short, whatever you prefer. V-Dog Rush? I'm joking, by the way. I don't care who made this first or discovered this first. Who cares? I just wanted to make fun of that guy because he said check the receipts. Probably one of the most important tip I can give you guys is from juggle combos. This is where most people are messing up their drive rush combos, is anytime they juggle them and you have to input the drive rush in between, in the middle of the combo. And what a lot of people don't know is that you just have to hold parry. So what's happening is, like, let's say with Marisa, right? I juggle them up in the air like this. People are like manually trying to do that input I just showed you guys. They try to go forward and go like this, like, or you know what I mean? Like, or they manually wait and they go parry and forward. You don't have to do that. All you need to do is just hold parry. So I go like this, I'm holding parry, and you'll automatically parry on the first frame possible. So the only thing you need to think about is when to press forward. It's like that simple. And you'll always get the timing right. Yeah, this is the single most important tip. that a lot of people don't know. And like I said, especially if you missed out on the beta, right? So when you do this juggle combo, right? Like that. You see how I'm just holding down parry? I'll show it one more time. Pay attention when I'm holding down parry. See? I'll never screw it up because I only have to think about forward. It's all buffered in. Another really important tip is that the button you drive rush into is buffered. So you don't even have to time it. So what I mean is, let's say for Ryu, I want to go crouching medium kick into standing medium punch, okay? That medium punch, I can press that as soon as I press forward. So watch, I go like this. It's gonna come out with perfect timing. You do not even have to wait. Same with light, like any button, okay? This is really important for light combos, right? Because when you're going light into light, you need a lot of speed, right? Like you're going like this. You see how fast I press that light punch? So this is really useful too. This is even when you do it raw. Even when you do it raw, you can press the button immediately and it will come out. Man, it's so hard to do in slow motion. See how early I pressed it? That was insanely early. So combined those two together, holding down parry mid juggle and pressing the button immediately after you press dash. Those two are like the biggest tips that helping you with the execution part of doing drive rush combos, for sure. So let me quickly explain some general properties too that will help you guys construct your combos in case you don't know, and that is drive rush adds juggle properties to your buttons. So for example, if you try to like juggle into a light punch, it's not gonna work. But what drive rush does is it adds juggle properties to it. So you can just drive rush and you can just jab them and all of a sudden it works. And this is kind of like how you construct your combos and extend them further and add corner carry to it. Like obviously this is like suboptimal because I'm just doing jab, but you can keep jabbing them. It's pretty funny. Cancel. Yeah, like this, like that, you know, like that's extremely suboptimal, but it's important for all combos to extend them. Like easy example with Marisa is like you go like this, and most people you can end with the Quadriga, or you have to do Gladius like this. But you know, you can push them further. I'm so far away from Ken too, you know. So if I use it like this, and I just add a punch in there like this, boom. Then all of a sudden now they're in the corner. I get more damage. And another thing too, all these juggle extensions are really meter efficient because doing a normal drive rush only costs 1 bar, right? And it costs exactly 1 bar if you do the dude rush / V rush, V dog rush. And it's only the cancel where it's going to take the 3 bars, right? So know the difference. Like, don't drive rush cancel unless you have to. You got to mix them in and know the differences. All right, next tip is the properties of drive rush make your buttons way more +4. And this is on both block and on hit. So for example, Ryu's medium punch, it's -1. So when you do a drive rush into it, it's gonna be +3. This is really important because everything is minus in this game. You know, all your buttons are minus for most characters. So the way you start pressure in this game is to drive rush into your normals, and it gives you an extra turn. You know, it's like as soon as you drive rush into a button, you're back to Street Fighter V temporarily for one more, you know, pressure mix-up basically. And this is obviously good for extending combos too, because now your buttons are insanely plus. So medium punch is, you know, +7 on hit, but on drive rush it's +11. You know, then you could do heavy hitting buttons like heavy punch, for example, because this takes 10. So now boom, boom. Hold on, that didn't actually combo. Boom, boom, there we go. Another important thing is that the drive rush actually maintains the momentum. So you have this like inertia when you're moving forward, and when you press a button, your character still slides forward for a little bit. And this is really important to note too for a ton of things. Tick throws, you know, command throws, or any forward moving moves, or overheads, right? So I'll show an example of everything. Okay, so for Ryu, I'm gonna walk right into Ken. I'm gonna do a crouching medium punch and press throw. I'm out of range. See, no matter how close I am to him, it's out of range, but watch, I'm gonna drive rush into it now. Now he's in range because of the inertia of drive rush. This is very important. So you have to like kind of relook at all your buttons in a different way when you use drive rush. So with Honda's command grab, for example, like a command grab and I go like this, see? It stops right away. But if I use his down forward heavy kick, because you can carry this into his command grab. There we go. It's a cool little trick. The same with forward moving moves. You see Honda is forward heavy kick. He steps forward when he does it. And when I drive rush into it, the range is crazy. Look at that. Super good. So you can convert this way as well. Jamie's another good example of that. His forward heavy kick, because that goes really far too. And if you drive rush into it, boom, look how fast that is. In fact, this is really important to know with Jamie, because if you do Rekkas, for example, his dry rush is too slow that he normally can't get to the opponent fast enough to get Oki. But using that inertia trick, you can. You see, now you're right in their face. And finally, overheads. So overheads is another thing where you're able to do, you know, full screen overheads. And this is a combination of the inertia, and since it's an amplified overhead because from the drive rush, it's +4, now it's 5 frames, meaning now I can combo after the overhead, you know? Like that. I'm sure you guys have seen that a million times in matches. There is a downside to abusing drive rush like crazy, and that is the fact that you can't act right away. You can press a button faster than you can block, because if you try to just block or jump, it takes longer than just pressing a button. And because of this, there are some drive rush pressure things that people are doing that are completely fake, and it's just a straight up gimmick. So for Ryu, for example, if Ryu just does a forward throw on you like this, and he drive rushes on you, that's completely fake. So no matter what, if I do wake up reversal here, Ryu cannot block. I said it so Ryu blocks as fast as he can. So don't let people get away with this on you. There are many situations where people are drive rushing and they cannot block. They have to fully commit. And that's important for yourself too. When you're trying to find like Oki setups, really like make sure you check to make sure it's real. I'll show you guys another example with Marisa. After her level 3, she automatically puts you in the corner. I'm setting Cammy to do a wake up OD uppercut right after. And so she's gonna do it right when wakes up, and I'm gonna drive rush and try to block, okay? And I can't block in time. If I try to press a button, I'll still get hit, even though I can press a button faster than I can block. There are counters, like I can do like scoot 'em, for example. But I'm just showing you there are scenarios where it's fake. The pressure is fake. This should be obvious too, but the drive rushes in this game, they're all character specific on their speed and distance, and the burst of speed at the beginning. So Jerry has the farthest drive rush in the game. She goes completely full screen, and it's the second fastest in the game. So overall, I would say Jerry has the best drive rush. But there's also DJ, and DJ, as you guys should know, has the fastest drive rush in the game. It just doesn't go full screen. So I'll show you guys DJ's speed. It's insanely fast. It just doesn't go the full distance. But I'm sure you guys have all dealt with DJ walking back on you and just going drive rush sweep, and it's unreactable. Let me show an extreme example too. I think Manon has the slowest speed and distance, maybe on both categories. But overall, I think Manon probably has the worst drive rush in the game. But it basically goes nowhere. And you see the burst of speed, it really slows down at the end. Okay, I got a bonus tip for you guys too. This didn't work in the beta, but in the full version of the game, you can perfect parry fireballs and cancel it into drive rush. This is really important against zoners like Guile, for example. But you can drive rush immediately from the perfect parry. And you can actually punish if you're close enough and get a punish counter. So in higher level play, this is something that's gonna matter. See, I punish Ryu at that distance. Really important for the Guile matchup. Just a quick little bonus tip that wasn't in the beta if you tried that before. So one extra example is of like a Blanca ball happens and you perfect parry it. Even though it freezes the screen, you want to hit Blanca when he's on the ground. So I can drive rush forward and now he blocks and this character's broken. There we go. That's what's supposed to happen. So is there any questions, guys? Is there anything you guys don't understand in the chat? Or if there's anything in the YouTube comments you guys don't understand what I just explained? No, let me know and we could always like revisit this and I can further explain it. Have you heard of the max rush? The dude rush. No, drive rush does not affect special moves. If I do drive rush into crazy kicks, nothing happens. Or if I do drive rush into fireball, it's not amplified in any way. No. Same if you do target combos, only the first hit of target combos is amplified. But if your single move inherently is multi-hitting, like reuse forward medium punch, then the whole thing is amplified. Yay, we did it. Don't forget, guys, that we have a giant playlist of a bunch of Street Fighter 6 guides. Mir's pretty much almost done every single combo guide for every character. And he's going to start helping me out with the guides as well. And we'll keep following up. Like I said, just keep asking me questions and we'll keep adding to it. We'll be covering this game for years. So be sure to check out that playlist every now and then. You'll see a bunch more videos on it. So hopefully this helps somebody, you know, with their drive rush combos. We'll revisit this sometime in the future and go a little bit more in depth with some more advanced stuff. And yeah, hope you guys are enjoying Street Fighter 6. What are you waiting for? We're done. That's so cool. It's 1 in the morning.